Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna bring you a video I have been waiting to do for a very long time, and I'm finally gonna talk to you guys about my favorite foundations ever for oily skin. If you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I am a combo oily girl, and getting the right type of foundation that is not going to make me look even more oily or slip and slide around throughout the day is extremely important to me. But over the years, I have definitely understood the importance of skincare, skin prep before foundation application, and also how I set my foundation afterwards being the key to being able to use any particular type of foundation that is on the market. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about 3 matte finish foundations, because every oily girl or guy loves their matte foundations. And I'm also gonna talk about 3 non-matte foundations that I use all the time and that I love and that I do feel work for oilier skin, even though it doesn't give you a traditional matte finish like many of us oily skin people love to have. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with what I am currently wearing right now, and that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I've had this foundation for quite some time now, and it is hands down one of my favorite, if not my #1 favorite. If I had to pick one out of the ones I'm gonna show you today, I probably would have to say this is my #1 favorite. The shade range is phenomenal. They have cool undertones, warm undertones, neutral undertones to suit everyone. It is a matte finish foundation, and it also is a full coverage foundation. And I know a lot of you guys out there do love your full coverage, and you will definitely get it with this. I do have to mention it does not come with a pump. I put a pump on it from MAC Cosmetics. That's where I purchased it, because I was just tired of pouring out foundation on the back of my hand. I hate it. So I finally went out and purchased a pump. I have heard that Estee Lauder is finally going to be selling a pump under their brand, not necessarily packaged with the foundation though. I don't believe that the pump is gonna come with the foundation. I'm pretty sure that it is sold separately and just going to be available for purchase if you would like to. This foundation gives you a very flawless finish. It sits beautifully on the skin. I don't find that it cakes up on me at all. Some people do, and I really believe that that is from using too much of it. Today I used 2 pumps, that's it. And anywhere else that I didn't feel got the coverage that I wanted, I spot concealed. So if you go light with it, you will not get a cakey feel. Products that you apply on top of it, other powders or creams or whatever, blend beautifully on top of the foundation. And the #1 thing that I have never seen any other brand claim is that this particular foundation stands up well to heat and humidity. And Estee Lauder themselves make that claim. And I absolutely agree. It is a beautiful summertime foundation. Even though it is full coverage, it is gorgeous in very hot and humid climates. So if you do live in one, we're coming out of the summer months in many places. Where I am, it's about to get real cold real quick, but I know a lot of you live in very hot and humid climates year round. Get Estee Lauder Double Wear. It will stay in place, as the name says, all day long. It will not melt off, rub off. It will keep everything in place for hours. It is one of the best foundations on the market, hands down. Next is another oldie but goodie, my beloved MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. I also opted to put a pump on this one as well. It does not come with a pump, just like the Double Wear, but I purchased one because I needed one. This is again a beautiful foundation for also women of color, because the shade range is out of this world. I'm pretty sure MAC Studio Fix Fluid specifically has one of the largest shade ranges of any brand out there. It is in the 40-something shade range, number of shades. Amazing. from extremely fair to very dark. And it is full coverage again for all of you guys out there that love full coverage. I don't use full coverage foundations to their full capacity because I'm not a big full coverage fan. But if you want full coverage, you'll get it with this. I use a more minimal amount when I use full coverage foundations because I do love to see my skin show through. It definitely keeps you looking matte all day. It is a matte finish foundation and it sits beautifully on the skin. Products apply beautifully on top and it will not budge. This is definitely a full day, all day, long wear foundation, and it just does a fantastic job of keeping everything in place for long periods of time. And the last foundation in the matte finish category is my newest purchase, and I finally got on the Lancome Teint Idole bandwagon. That is a French name, and I have really been enjoying using this foundation ever since I purchased it. Lancome did change the packaging. You can see that beautiful detail on top. The bottle is just gorgeous, as many Lancome products are. Lancome always does packaging so well. Again, the shade range is on point. As you can tell, I'm all about promoting brands that do shade ranges the way they should be done. Don't tell me that 20 shades is a bomb range when you have people like this and people like this that are coming out with 40 plus. That is a shade range, especially these three brands, Estee Lauder, MAC, and Lancome. Got you, they got you. This foundation is full coverage, definitely on the lighter side than MAC and Estee Lauder. You do have to build this up to full coverage. The initial application is very much a medium and is very much of a lighter feel on the skin than the Double Wear and Studio Fix Fluid. But it looks flawless on the skin. It will last you all day long, as it says, up to 24 hours. Who knows, because we don't wear our foundation for that long, but it is really, really beautiful. This particular one from Lancome does carry an SPF of 15, as does MAC Studio Fix, and I'm not too sure on Double Wear. I do believe that it does have SPF. I do not experience any flashback with these foundations, and you really shouldn't when you're talking about an SPF as low as 15 or even 10. I believe that the Estee Lauder has, so you shouldn't worry about any of that. The foundation sits beautifully on the skin, and it just really provides a great full coverage all day wear. So those three matte finish foundations I highly recommend for anyone that is combo to oily skin. Now I'm going to talk about three foundations that are not matte finishes, but they are such gorgeous foundations, and I highly recommend any of you that are oily to give them a try. I know once upon a time I was all about matte, 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 matte. If a foundation didn't say the word matte on it or in the description, I was not gonna purchase it.
Not on my watch.
But not these foundations. They are fantastic. And the first one I wanna start with is one that I know many of you who may have already tried that have oily skin have said, "Bitch, I ain't fucking with you." MAC Face and Body. Yes, I know many people with oily skin have tried this foundation and it was a complete fail. And guess what? I'm one of those people. I went to a MAC counter one day, I got a sample, I tried it on, and I looked like a hot, greasy mess. KFC, Popeyes, Church's, whatever fried chicken is your pleasure, you could have fried it up on my face. And it was because at that time, my skincare regimen was not anywhere near as on point as it is today. And that is really the key. If you're not into skincare, you don't care about it, you don't do it, you don't have any particular routine, you're using a whole bunch of very harsh, drying, stripping ingredients on your face because you're wanting to just do anything you can to get rid of your oils, then this will not work for you. You've got to put in the work into creating a great skincare routine for yourself, and this will work for you. Granted, it's not a summer foundation. I have not been using it very much these past couple of months that have been very hot and humid. This is definitely the type of foundation I'll be getting into now that we're going into the fall and the cooler months. So definitely on the hottest days of the year when it's crazy humid and anything that you put on your face, even the most matte of products, is melting off. Of course, don't use this, but definitely give it a try now that we're moving into the cooler months. Wear a mattifying primer, get a good mattifying setting powder, get on top of that skincare regimen, and get your oil production under control so it's manageable as far as especially when you're wearing makeup, and this will be beautiful. It doesn't have a lot of coverage, definitely not full coverage. It is definitely a lightweight, light to medium coverage foundation. The shade range is terrible.
I said what I said.
So it's not gonna be that easy to find a great match, but if you can, definitely give it a try. There are 2 sizes. I absolutely opted for the smaller size. I don't need the bigger size. I don't go through foundations like that, but give it a try and let me know what you think, because it is so beautiful, especially for those that do not like a lot of foundation, or maybe even don't wear foundation at all, only for special occasions. You have pretty good skin that doesn't need a lot of coverage. You can't go wrong with MAC Face and Body. Next is my beloved NARS Sheer Glow. I've had this one for years. Again, no pump to be seen. NARS does sell one separately if you would like to purchase. I probably will be getting one because this is definitely one of my holy grail ride or die foundations. It is that good. It will be repurchased when it runs out. Don't let the words sheer glow fool you. There's really nothing sheer or glowy about this foundation. It is a pretty decent medium to full coverage foundation, and upon initial application, it is very much of a satin finish. And then of course, if you pair it with your mattifying primer and your mattifying setting powder, you are gonna get a pretty nice matte look if you want to. So don't be afraid of the name, and don't be afraid of it getting too greasy as the day goes on. Again, another foundation that I use predominantly in the cooler months because I want my foundation to stand up as long as possible and look as good as long as possible with minimal touch-up, minimal blotting. So of course, in the warmer months of the year, I'm gonna stick with my more matte finish foundations. But now, I'm busting out my NARS Sheer Glow because my skin isn't going to be as hot and things are not going to be melting off like they are in the dead of summer. So this is a really great foundation. NARS especially is one of those brands that do yellow undertoned foundations very well. In fact, all of the foundations I've talked about so far do a really great job of their yellow undertoned foundations. I am a yellow undertone, and sometimes a lot of yellow undertoned foundations really do lean more neutral. They're more neutral warm than they are truly warm, and I don't do neutral. I need straight up warm golden yellow undertones in my foundation, and NARS does a great job of that. And last but not least is my beautiful CoverFX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. As the name suggests, it is oil-free, so you don't have to worry about that, as well as all the foundations that I've mentioned are all oil-free. I would never use any foundation that has oil in it. I don't need that. And I have two shades here. I have G60 and G70. I mix these two together at any given time of the year, depending on how light or dark I get to get my perfect shade. Again, G for Golden. CoverFX is the foundation specialist. They specialize in giving everyone their perfect shade. So CoverFX is one of those brands that anyone and everyone that has issues finding a great foundation shade match, you have to check out CoverFX's foundation line. Even if you're not into this particular one, they have others. They have a cream foundation, they have a stick, they have a powder. You need to get into CoverFX because they do foundation like no one else. They're all about putting in great skincare benefits into their products. They don't do mascara, they don't do eyeliner, they don't do lipstick. All CoverFX does is complexion, and that is one of the reasons why I love them so much as a brand, because they do complexion like no one else. The name that they chose for this foundation is bang on. It is a natural finish foundation. It is not dewy, it is not matte, it is natural. It is skin in a bottle. It looks just like skin. So definitely use, again, your primers and your setting products of your choice to give it a more matte finish if that's what you would prefer with your oilier skin. But it is such a beautiful foundation, very lightweight. It does last for quite some time, not as long as the more matte foundations I've mentioned, but it just does a really beautiful job of giving a beautiful finish to your skin. So that's it, guys. Those are my favorite top 6 foundations for oily skin. I hope that you learned something, that you will decide to pick up one of these foundations, try it out. Please let me know if you already have down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about my picks and what are some of your picks for fantastic foundations for oily skin, especially drugstore. I don't know if you noticed, but none of my picks were drugstore picks, and that is because it's been so hard for me to find great matches for my skin tone in the drugstore. So for the most part, I've really only stuck to higher end brands, but I do want to get into drugstore complexion products. You guys know I'm obsessed with complexion, so please let me know what your favorite drugstore foundations for oily skin are. Please do subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.